Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fuzzy Goat Gaming. I hope you're all doing well in these isolation times, and I hope I can provide some entertainment in the form of these videos. Today we're going to jump straight in, and we're going to do a bit of refreshing and opening up of my entranceway. It's not much to look at the moment. It's full of trees, and the tortoise habitat is right at the front of the zoo, which we'll see in a minute. So I want to make it more welcoming, move my zoo sign because you can't actually see it, and stick with this woodland theme, add some more flowers and shops and open up the info point a bit. But this means we have to move this tortoise habitat. So yeah, I want to move these over here and then open this up, this bit behind the trees, a bit more, so we have an actual entrance to the zoo instead of going in to animals straight away. There is a bit of an entrance here, so here I have a sign for Gnasmus Zoo, but I just feel like it's a bit wasted and hidden around here, and they've got some shops and toilets in here, but I kind of want to make that part of it all, so this flows into this and this is all open a bit better. So yeah, and I want to also hide the crocs down this side a bit more, so again the visitors can just see them on this side. So again, we're not just going straight into animals, we're going into, this is a zoo, this is like where you can buy some stuff, and then we go into animals. Because if you think about when you go to a real zoo, you don't have lots of animals at once. Like, it's just, otherwise it'd just be too much to look at. You see maybe one or two habitats, maybe either side of a path, but you don't have loads at once. So I feel like we've got too many habitats in quite a small area. And I quite like my staff facilities being like a little hub, but I feel like some of the keeper huts can come out to be closer to the habitats and we can make a bit more of a feature of them. So yeah, I'm going to see what we can do. I'm going to start by just moving the tortoise habitat temporarily and focusing on the entranceway, and then we can come back to the tortoise habitat. So I actually thought I'd take you through this time lapse. So yeah, here's me moving the tortoise habitat, just taking all the bits inside it and just moving it temporarily. I think that's going to be my next video, to do that properly and make it a bit more interesting. So then I cleared the space that I had the information point in originally, and I thought I'd make my own information point building, because I've not done that with any of the facilities yet, the guest facilities. So I just went with a plain wooden building with a thatched roof, and then added some of the Arctic posts for it. I was trying to make an awning, and then I ended up going back to the thatched bits and then just leaving them stick out like that. And then adding some extra wood, because I really wanted to get the info signs that they have already on there, so you know what the building is. And then I put a door on there and just made it a bit more interesting with some of the Africa bits. And then that was that done. So then I moved my information point sign, because I still wanted to use that, I quite like that, and did a bit of pathing, which I probably end up redoing later. And then I realised that some of my logs had disappeared, so I just did a quick repair on that. I must have accidentally deleted it when I was doing the anteater habitat the other day. But yes, then I go back to making some other food and drink stalls. And then again, making them very similar to the information point, with the wooden walls and the thatched roofs and the same awnings. But then I ended up getting rid of the thatched aged awnings because the signs were just way too big. Like, I don't know how they're meant to fit on there, but they're just huge. And I was really frustrated that they just wouldn't fit. I ended up just rotating two of them around like that, just so they stick over the vending window. But and I do end up losing them, two of the signs in the move there. But Yeah, so then I move on to paths, which I hate paths in this game. I've just not cracked the best way of doing like a queue with multiple buildings yet. So if you've got any tips about that, then leave them in the comments below. So then I move on to moving the picnic benches a bit. I just wanted to kind of centre them up between the staff hub and the new food centre that I'd built. So just playing with that and then grabbing the screens that I'd already made. I really like the contrast of the wood and the metal on these screens. So I'm trying to use them as much as possible. Not overuse them, I hope, but yeah, I just felt like I still had a lot of green space in this area. So I'm just trying to barrier off sections that, you know, guests wouldn't normally see. So then here I've moved on to the ATM area. I wanted to create like a little nook, like a hidden away section where the ATMs are, because they're pretty ugly, to be honest, even though you can change the colour of them. And I did make them yellow, but I just wanted to make a little feature out of them. So I found these African signs, I think they are, and I just wanted to make like a little curved nook that's a bit out of the way and just makes it look a bit more interesting. So I spent a lot of time here just lining them all up and then putting some more of those screens on just to break up that green section there. The back of it's not so pretty, but once you've got some trees in there, they're not going to see that anyway. And I managed to get a little roof on there, so when it rains, because it rains a lot in this zoo, they're not going to get wet. Just adding lots of trees, and this is where I realised the signs had gone, so I've replaced them. And then got on with the other side. So what I'm doing here is just grabbing pieces that I think look good and look good together. I wanted to make a feature in the middle, but first of all I wanted to barrier off the crocodiles here because I didn't want the guests seeing them straight away. I didn't want them to be seen until the guests walk round the corner, so it's more of a surprise. So I'm just doing this simple log effect, which I've done many times before. And then just finding a nice pattern with the pieces that I'd picked and adding some planters. I knew I wanted a lot of flowers in this entrance. So here I'm just picking anything that I think looks nice from the Europe selection and getting some colour in there. And then just placing them where I think looks nice and trying to make a feature of it so when they come through the doors it's kind of like the first thing they see. So just trying to make something pretty and yeah, keeping with the theme with the logs and the screens. And again, just barring off this big empty space with some trees and doing the same thing on the other side with more trees. And then I had a bit of trouble here grabbing the sign that I'd made. I obviously didn't make it as one complete kind of building as such. So I kind of had to remake some bits of it, but I think it looks quite good. I've used the fonts here from Rice's fonts that you can get on the workshop. He's got quite a few and they're really good and very easily accessible to make your signs. And that was it. So I'll just give you a little tour around. This is what it looks like now as you come into the zoo, down to eye level. So now you've got a lovely feature to look at, loads of flowers, and my sign for Gnasmus Zoo, which I'm loving the look of. And then round here, you go through here to the information point with my ATM nook, which they're using, which is nice. And then my information points, round to the picnic benches, which I never see anyone sitting on. I don't even know if they use them. And then back round to the zebras where we started with just some rocks here. And to the food kind of court. They're all closed currently. I need to sort out my staffing levels and things, but there's a bin there that's just in the middle. We'll move that. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it all turned out. I think it's a lot more open now and it flows through this bit that I'd already made up here. which I wanted to keep in a similar sort of theme, and there's some more food stalls up here which I want to change to look like the ones that I've just built. And then there's some toilets back here as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. And don't forget, if you like what you see, press the thumbs up button and subscribe for more Planet Zoo content coming soon, where we're going to redo this tortoise habitat and just make it look 100 times better. So yeah, see you then.